Well, hello, crafty friends. Now, I'm not sure if you are as big a fan as I am of Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Selena Gomez in Only Murderers in the Building, but I love that series. My husband made it a Sunday night special for us to watch with often a pizza now that I think of it. And of course, Miss Gomez, recently engaged, got some beautiful icing or bling for her engagement ring. And I'd like to share that today I'm going to show you exactly what a 6-carat oval diamond looks like because I've got one and I'm wearing it. It's not mine. It's my good friends over at Silveri Jewellers who sponsor today's video. So if you'd like to see what that looks like, stick around because we know us card makers, we love adding gems and bling to all of our cards. Well, hi, friends. If this is the first time we're meeting, I'm Sherry, and this is my studio, and it is a place of creativity. If nobody has given you permission to create yet, I will. You have permission to create. Creating and being creative is so good for us, which is why I am bringing my passion of card making to the world through this baby YouTube channel. I think I'm somewhere nearing 250 subscribers and feeling really good about it. I am excited to say that my adventures of learning how to make cards have been wonderful. And probably one of my favorite things to do is when a card is nearly done, just take it up that extra notch and allow me to put some lovely, lovely bling onto it. So I have some samples here today of ones that I like to use. These are the Pink Fresh Studio ones. This is one called Champagne in clear drops, and this one is metallic gold pearls. And you know, it inspired me a little bit. I'm a girl who likes to wear a bit of gold. I've had my right hand ring for a very long time. I had my beautiful wedding ring, which I've got here next to me for a special reason today. It's actually mine's a 25th anniversary one. We're operating on 25, 28 years now, 29 almost. My goodness, nearly 30. Perhaps it's time that Fred take a look and do some shopping for a bit of new icing for me. But I was inspired by what I saw, all the celebrities and all the fun stuff that filled up my Instagram feed and my Pinterest board with Selena Gomez's beautiful engagement. And she has a 6-carat ring in an oval. And I thought you'd like to see a little bit of what that might look like. For size, I'd just like to have you understand I am a different size than Selena, so her ring's going to look different on her. But I am very, very excited today to have Lisa and Todd from Silveri Jewellers sponsoring this so that I can show you some samples directly from their store. All right, let me get this set up. So I'm going to be over here in the corner. The diamonds I'm showing you have really caught my interest. They are by Diamond Evolution, and they are nature untouched is their trademark line here. So Lisa and Todd carry this full line of diamonds. And these diamonds are lab grown, which in my opinion is making something that once was not necessarily accessible except by these A-list celebrities. I love you, Selena. But is now available here in our grocery stores. No, probably not our grocery stores, our independent jeweler stores. And Lisa and Todd have a beautiful selection of diamonds. And in fact, as we're crafting today, I'm going to show you not just my rings that I always have on here, but theirs. So let's get started with a peek at what a 6-carat oval looks like. Oh my gosh. So on my little finger, because the sample size is smaller than I am, this is a 6-carat gorgeous oval shaped diamond. To show you size comparison on my ring finger here, this one is an incredible 5-carat diamond. Ooh, I'm telling you, I wish I did my nails this morning instead of last night. All right, so there's some fun. We're going to get crafting. Now, I'm going to take the 6-carat oval off while I do my crafting here. I'm going to pass that to my very handy helper here, Eric, who's in the background and does not want to be on camera. And that's his right, ladies and gentlemen. Don't make anybody do what you don't want to do unless you're a friend and really need to help them. Okay, so this beauty going over here to Eric, who's guarding them for me. I'm keeping the 5-carat on. Look at that. And we're going to start crafting. So, all right, friends, here we go. Keep my little logo in place here. Going to move these over. Keeping my ring here. So if I can't find mine later, you remind me. It's in my beautiful Crop and Create little beautiful dish here. Okay, moving that to the side. So today, what we're going to do is create a stackable card. I figured while we're playing with some jewelry and doing this, we want to do something that's going to be a little elegant. And then I thought to myself, something a little elevated. But you know what, friends? I really do want to be playful here, but I want to be careful too. I got a lot of icing in my room here today, which is not a normal thing for a crafter. So I've decided on a very simple, and in fact, I looked up some original videos from some other card makers for this particular triple layered style that I'm going to do today. And I think they were doing it back in the 90s. So we're kicking it a little old school. And that felt pretty appropriate because something borrowed, something blue, something new, all of those kind of things, and something old. So I'm going to go with this style. Here's the type of card that we're going to make today. I'm going to do some TV magic and show you steps along the way as we go. What is really cool about this particular one, and I'm using these Lawn Fawn nested dies today. What I've done is I've taken a neat piece of paper, and I've taken the piece of paper that was in a pad that I didn't really know how to use otherwise because it was one of those huge 12 by 12s, and it had the beautiful parts around the inside and then a solid color with this nice gray black in the center. So I cut it down to a 6 by 6. Running that through my die cutting machine, all I've done is taken every other size of the Lawn Fawn nested dies, and I've taken those and I've nested them myself so that there's enough space between them using a little bit of low tack tape. I'm just keeping it careful aside from each other so they're holding in their position. Run that through my die cut machine and come back with some shapes for you. Let me do that off camera. I'll be right back. Okay, friends, so off camera, I ran this through my Big Shot to get these cut out. You'll see I'm going to be able to take them apart here. Now, this is a double-sided paper, and I think I have said often on my videos, am I the only one that sometimes feels sad that the other side of paper didn't get used? I love both sides, but you know what? It's just paper, so use the side you love and then come back and use the other one for something else. Okay, so here's my nested cutouts. The last one here. There we go. All right, so now I've got the 3 pieces. Now, when you're doing this with a picture like this, instead of full random pattern, you want to make sure that you're keeping your the right sides up, if you will. Okay, so we've got that. Same thing that I have over here. This is going to be a card that goes this way. This one as well, more landscape size. And oh, I just want to point out my beautiful 5-carat has been joined by a new friend over here, and this new friend is an emerald cut. Take a look at that. My goodness, if you have not had an opportunity to go into Silveri Jewellers and just play with the beautiful product that they have in place, you are missing out. Go, race, run to Silveri Jewellers and take a look at these. Now let's get back to our card. I've got my Gina K. This is Warm Glow cardstock ready to go. I'm going to move this one aside. So it's a regular size card base that I'm using here, friends. And I'm using this in the Warm Glow because I think it picks up some of the softer tones in the paper that I'm using. Now, each of the die cuts that I have, I'm going to adhere to the card. And I'm going to take the first one and have that be level with the card. I'm going to use some foam tape on the future ones as we stack them and go. But this is how simple this card is. I've taken the picture. I'm just going to go ahead and do some double-sided tape and get that ready to go on as a little frame in the back of the card. Now, if this was a full piece of paper, it would be a mat going on the back. You just want to get your card ready to go and give yourself a couple seconds to double check. Am I holding this the right way? Keep these pieces here so you can see how they fit in like a little bit of a jigsaw puzzle, because it would be sad if you turned one the wrong way and upside down for your card. So going here, getting a nice little frame. That's the first one. It's surprisingly enjoyable to work with this much weight on my hand. I have not normally had that. Okay, then I'm going to take the next piece. So here we go. The next piece is a full color piece because I want some good stability on this one. And of course, we had to cut out the pieces from the original one. So this as well, I'm going to put down on flat on the surface, not raised up. And this time I'm going to use blue because I want this to have just a little extra absorption. And I feel that the adhesive of the liquid glue, cardstock to cardstock, is great. I often default to using my double-sided tape on paper because I don't want any of the glue to kind of show through, if you will. All right, so here's this one, and I'm just matting that to be the exact right size and shape inside the center. So now we're done, and everything on this card is still level with the card. I haven't raised anything up. Our next step is to decide, is this the layer we're raising up or will the centerpiece be the layer? And I think there's some surprise and delight if it's this layer. So I'm going to put that aside for a second, and I'm going to go ahead and adhere this little centerpiece to its background so we can put them all together. All right. So we've got the little center focal piece, and I'm just putting that right on the center there. Okay, so it's ready to go. Now this one, I want to raise up with some double-sided foam tape. Let's see if I've got the right width of foam tape here. I think I do. It might be a little bit wide. Let me quick look for another size. I'll be right back. Okay, so I don't know the exact measurements of the double-sided foam, but you can see here I'm using one that's half the width. I feel a little bit safer doing that. I'm going to go ahead and on the long side, just take my scissors and cut the foam adhesive to fill the background here. That's one. I went a little bit off, so I'm going to trim that little piece off. And then do the same on all four sides. This is going to give us some nice stability, but some pretty loft on the card. And because I've got cardstock behind the focal piece here, it's still going to be really nice and firm and not too wobbly. If I had used just paper and double-sided foam tape, I think it would have been a little less easy. Okay, here we go. Putting that one down in. And give that a little tiny trim. And this one I think is fit to measure pretty perfectly. Okay, so you know what we need to do here? We need to take another ring and put it on. That's what we need to do. I will admit though, I'm getting very comfortable with a 5-carat ring on my ring finger. Yes, it's true. The things we can dream about, right? Okay, so the creativity runs wild. Here we go. Got that. Bringing back my card base, which has got the first 2 layers on it. Now remember what I said? Make sure you're the right side up. See how this one has been turned around while I was doing that? This is the proper way for it to go. So I'm going to just go back and get that nice and lofted. And then on this piece here, because we've got a little shallow piece here, I'm just going to put a little piece of foam tape on the inside here in the bigger format. So it's holding up that center piece very nicely for me. So just like this on that centerpiece below, I'm just putting that there. Now it's not popping up the next layer. It's just filling in this layer so that I've got great stability on the layer that's flat right above it. Okay, checking that I've got my picture in the right orientation. Let me just show you. So that is correct. This is wrong. So you can tell your stepping pieces here have the nice little flowers. So we need a little bit of glue going around the tiny edge of this guy. And we'll do that with our glue press. A workhorse in my craft room. And I will tell you that when people come to my live streams on Monday nights and they see this thing for the first time, they are in love. I think any crafter can use it, but a paper crafter falls in love with it for sure. Wait, I took off that. Okay. So now here we go. And we've got that top layer for our 3-layer card. While I do that, let me go ahead, show you these once more. This is what it's like when I take it off. Oh my gosh, it's just so gorgeous. Here's the 5-carat. Look at that. Oh my gosh, it's just an honor to be able to put this on. Look at all of the glitter. That's fantastic. All right, we'll come back and show you that later. Eric, hand me another one to put on and try here, and then we're going to go ahead and do our sentiment. So this one is a oval, like Selena Gomez got. So I think that shape is going to be very trendy. I'm going to put, that made me nervous. It was a little tight when I put it on just now. So I'm sorry, I'll have to keep it, Fred. You'll just have to go and buy it from Silveri Jewellers. Okay, so there's the oval on, I can't remember, but I will list them all down below with links. These are for sale and available at the store. Okay, now what I want to do next is take some of my Gina K. I'm growing my collection of my Gina K cubes. And so I've got, now I don't have Warm Glow, which is Warm Glow is the cardstock that I used, but I do have some nice choices here in sort of the pinks and reds that I'm going with. I was wondering if maybe I should do, just like a Versamark black for my sentiment. I picked out a couple that I thought of. This card, I don't know what the actual purpose of the card is. Sometimes you just have to make general cards and then let the sentiment decide. But this one has, what is this one? This is Sweet Sentiments from Gina K. So best wishes to you and forever and always. And since I'm sort of playing with diamonds today, I felt like forever and always might be another one, one that I should kind of focus on. So I'm going to use this. This is a new one. And if you were at my live, I ask people while I'm trying to figure things out to co-design with me. So what we do in the chat is I'll ask a question like, which color do you think I should use for these? And then everybody sort of votes. And we have some great champions in our chat, like Claude and Eva and Tyra, who sort of calculate who's asking which questions. It's not very scientific. They just look at the chat and count up. And when they do, they come up with what the popular choice was. But when it's just me here, I'm going to go ahead and choose one for myself. Let me grab my Misty. I'll be right back and make a little sentiment. Okay, so I've got a piece of the Warm Glow, which is the same as the base, here in my Misty. I've also got a piece of scrap paper that I'm just going to cover it up with for right now, because I've taken 2 of those sentiments and I've put them on. They're brand new sentiments that I haven't used yet. So I've got the scrap paper down here to give me a little bit of, what would you call that, insurance, or a little bit of extra opportunity to try before you buy, if you will. Kind of like going to Lisa and Todd's. Okay, so I'm putting that down here. I'm taking the 2 sentiments and I'm going to use the Innocent Pink. I know it's so nice to have the curtains match the drapes and make sure that the Warm Glow matches the Warm Glow. But since I don't have it yet, I am just going to use what I do have. So I'm going to try this on my test piece of paper and see. Now I know it's a really light pink. So I'm going to do 2 things, because in the card, there's some nice dark pink. So I'm going to do this Innocent Pink on the bottom one over here. And then I'm going to take, this is a bright, bright pink. It's bubblegum pink. Probably not the right tone. If Mom is watching this, I know she's going to say, oh, honey, there are color wheels and categories you should follow. I'm just going to be creative with what I've got. Okay, so that's the bubblegum pink on the top. I got both of those closing over the Misty onto my little scrap paper. And let's see, give that a little smush and this a little smush. Let's see. And I'll tell you, spoiler alert, I usually revert to Versamark at this point, but let's see how it turned out. And it's really pretty. Now, here's the thing, when you test on a white piece of paper, it's a little bit different on the cardstock, but I sort of like both of them. I'm going to try it, guys. You know what? This might not turn out, but it's only paper. And the joy of being creative is that you don't have to be perfect. You can figure out what works for you. And because I'm doing this sentiment separate from the card, if I don't like it, I can start something else all over again. And you know what? That's okay. You're allowed. All right, here we go. So on to the Warm Glow first, second, and because this is a Misty positioning tool, lets me go back in. I like to put an extra little layer. Now, you can use a lot of ink and just press harder and firmer and use a tool to go over top of it. But I prefer to just sort of kiss the paper or the cardstock with a little bit of ink at time and build it up. Like my good friend Tyra is always telling me, a good mascara builds instead of just puts a whole bunch on you at once. So same sort of concept for my makeup wearing fans. That is very cute. It's coming through. I think I can do a third time. I mentally wanted to make sure I was using the right cube when I picked this up, so I checked its name. There's that Innocent Pink. And now let's go for the big burst of bubblegum pink. All right. Now you may be wondering, when I'm doing this, how it's going to come together. Sometimes sentiment strips leave me kind of boxed in, and I don't feel like I know exactly like how to do with rectangles and circles and the whole bit. But sometimes I feel like, no, be brave, be bold, just get what you want going. Not everything has to be matchy-matchy the whole time. So I'm going to see if I cut this out in a little square, if my square will look good there. But I think actually a circle is going to be better. Let's try it in a circle. We'll try one to start. Now, when you stamp on a piece of cardstock like this, we could go ahead, turn this around like this, where 2 blank spaces are, using the Misty positioning tool and going ahead and stamping again. But I don't want to do that because I want to get on with the video, friends, and this doesn't need to be an hour unless you do just like sitting here like I do and just, you know. All right, let me move this out of the way, and I'm going to get a hole punch that will make this a beautiful little circle. I'll be right back. Okay, friends, we are back, and there's a few things I grabbed. First, I got a couple different sizes of my circle punches to see which one is going to fit best here. Also, when I make cards with a lot of glitter paper on it, I often will use the hole punch. If I'm using a glitter for a mat, like this glitter paper, I will cut out the circle so that it is a little lighter, right? The amount of like mail is by postage weight, so you want to make sure that you're not making things too front heavy or heavy for the mail. So it's a little secret. I kind of punch them out to keep the card feeling nice and light. But what that does is allow me to have these nice extra pieces and a little stash of them, so that when I'm doing projects like this, we might actually decide that we want to do a little bit of bling on the card with the sentiment. We'll see. The nice thing about paper and keeping your small pieces for other projects is you can decide as you go. And if you haven't noticed, yes, I have switched up rings again. This one is much more similar to my anniversary band that I wear, and it is stunning and beautiful. So thanks for playing with me today as we take a look at all these lovely, lovely gems. Okay, so let's see. The size I want this to be is probably a little bit smaller. Let me flip this over and see this one. Okay, so if I went down, actually, let's try this size. I'm going to do best wishes to you in this size. Goes this way, Sherry. It's astonishing to me how different it is to use something that you use all the time on camera when you're recording versus just doing it on your own. It's different, friends. I'll tell you, it really is. Okay, I'm going to take this one forever and always. We'll get that one done here. That might work. And then I'm going to take the bigger ones. That was 1 3/4. And I'm going to go and see if the 2 will fit. And then we have choice. That's the only reason I'm doing 2 is that we'll have choice. And I like me some choice. Okay, so there's the 2. Yeah, 2 inches. Okay, so best wishes to you and forever and for always. Let me move these out of our way. Okay, so, and I think, so what I've done here, let's see. So this size, that's kind of a nice size of matting there. See how it's a nice frame, but it does sort of overwhelm the whole corner of the card and takes away from it a little bit. To show you in contrast, this one without a little border looks pretty cute there. But if we wanted to have a border, we could actually trim this one down. Let's see what that looks like. So we said that was, what size was that one? That one was, I forget, 1 3/4. Yeah, so we want the 2 inch, which is 1/4 bigger than that. So now I've just trimmed down the original piece I had so that I've got a nice little piece like this. It's going to go behind this and up into the corner. What do you think? That's really pretty, don't you think? Now, remember, this is stacked a little bit. So I'm going to do 2 things. I'm going to get the glue for the sentiment on the glitter, but then I'm going to, because I'm positioning it here, use a little adhesive just on the top and flat. I'll put a couple of foam squares on the back to be able to put that up. Let's get this card put together. Okay, friends, here we are in our home run stretch here. I'm going to use some of these beautiful little gems because that's what our theme has been today. Dump some of those out in my little tray here. And I am going to go ahead and add them. Now, I've seen some really neat videos where card makers decide where to just put their glue down and it works, and that's where their gems go. I've seen other people who design so that the gems, they put them down first and then decide where to glue them where they like them, play with the positioning. I'm going to just try and be a little bit bold here. And I think that my positioning for the gems is going to be something like, I don't want to go too around. I think I want them on some different layers, but let's just try. So I like a little dab of glue. Using my gem picker here, I'm just going to put that there. These ones are in 3 different sizes, which I love. And I don't know about you, but I feel like gems look better when they're in little clusters on your cards. So let me go ahead and put another one right next to it there. Sometimes we want to stop. Let me hold that up a bit more, just where we are. But I feel like we could probably use, I think I'm going to come down here and I'm going to go big or go home. I'm going to try a nice little dab of glue here for a bigger one. Let me see if I can get one right size up for myself. Never ceases to amaze me how the gems seem to land upside down regularly for me. Okay, there's a nice little one there. And I think I can come in with a matchy itty bitty little one there. And we'll go other side here. So picking up one of the tiny ones to go here. And another one of the tiny ones to just go here. I also like working in odd numbers, so you'll see I put in 3 down here, 2 up here, 5 altogether, friends, for those of us who need to do the math on it. So, friends, what have we done today? Oh my gosh, we've had some fun. I am so grateful to today's video sponsor, Silveri Jewellers, who carries this beautiful Diamond Evolution, making really wonderful statement pieces accessible to us because of the new technology available in lab-grown diamonds. So we'll take this card. We'll have some fun. You do want to see like me, you would also like to see the 5-carat back on me. Let's trade this one out, and we'll go with this one is our 6-carat oval like Miss Selena has. Thank you for inspiring us today. 5 carats. Let's put that one on. That's this one here, friends. Oh my gosh. It just makes my card look better. Look how much better my card looks when I'm wearing these. I am having so much fun. Friends, if this is your first time to my craft studio, you should know I don't always have a sponsor. I'm new to doing this. I'm the person that you want to watch because you enjoy the community, you enjoy the creativity, and you enjoy building out your vitality. Because did you know when you are crafting and creating, you are laying down neural pathways and doing wellness things in your brain that are just as important as getting good sleep, exercise, and lots of water. So friends, take care of yourselves. We'll see you again soon. And thanks for watching me and all this lovely bling. If you'd like to have as much fun as I did, run, not walk, to Silveri Jewellers and try on all these beautiful pretties. I do these videos every Thursday and I live stream every Monday. You're welcome to join us and become part of our community. Subscribe to my channel, and here's a video you might like to watch next. Thanks for watching.